Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Malik Arjun. Again, this is the third session, continuation session for my clusterware setup. In part one, we did with the 19C grid infrastructure and configuration. What are the pre-configuration? What are the pre-checks? Everything we have completed. And in part two, we have successfully installed our 19C grid infrastructure, and then we did some post configuration. And now this is the part three where I'm gonna do demonstrate on 19C Oracle rack home installation and then rack database creation. Right. So I already started my both the VMs. If I connect here, this is my node one. And then if I do ps-ef grep psmon, so my ASM is up and running here. And similarly, if I go on my node two, and then this is my ASM2 is up and running here, ps-ef grep psmon. Right, this is my ASM2 is running here. So let me zoom in, and then I'll do zoom in for the other session, right? And then meantime, I can take my mobile extreme session, and then IP addresses. I'm very much aware of that. This is going to be my node one IP address. I can do cat etc host. So this is my node one, 192.168.1.128. This is my node one. I'm going to connect in my putty session here, or mobile extreme session. Just log in with the root. Right, so my root is ready here, and then I'll take one more session, 191.29. That's my node 2. Right, my node 2 is also ready. So as I told in my previous session, whenever you restart your VM, you have to copy one important file, that is etc resolve.conf, whatever the backup you have it, you just replace it, and then service named restart. Done. So the same thing you do it on the other node. Done. And then service named restart. Done. So that's a simple thing, you have to do it. Now we will extract our binaries. As I go back here all the way top. So now this is my binaries, 63-01.zip. This is my database binaries. I need to unzip and I need to extract that one. So I have already downloaded here, as I showed you in my previous session. So this is my DB software. You can see 63-0. This is my DB software already available in my laptop. So I'm going to mount this directory as a saved folder in one of the VM. So I'll go here, VM setup, that virtual media manager, virtual VM virtual manager, Oracle VM virtual work manager. So I'll go on node one setting and go to your saved folder, click on this one, and then give your software location, and then whatever the name you want, I'll just mention software, and then I'll do read only auto mount and then mount it here, and then okay. The moment you do it, you go back here on node one, you'll get this particular SFOEL. If I take a terminal, df-h, you can see media SFOEL. So you got this one. So I'll just log into root user, since because it is coming from my Windows. So root user has access on this one. I'll just do zoom in. I'll go inside this one, slash media SFOEL. Right. So this is your software, like all your software, whatever you're seeing here from your D drive or your C drive, all the drives are coming here. I'll go inside DB software, and then I see my database software here. I'm going to unzip this one. I'll just do unzip, unzip this one into directory called user1 app, user app Oracle product 19C DBHome. This is my DBHome software, DBHome directory, user app Oracle product 19C DBHome. I'm going to unzip this database software into this particular DBHome, which will take few minutes. Once this unzip is done, so you can go back here, you can verify it's getting unzipped here. User an app Oracle product 19C DBHome ls. So these are the files it's getting unzipped here. Once the unzip is done, so we did in our previous class, installation of VirtualBox, installation of OEL, configuration of our name server, DNS server, cloning the VM box, creating a CA disk, configuring ASM disks and pre-checks, and then installation of grid infrastructure. Now we are doing in this session rack home installation, rack database creation, and some of the post checks. So these 3 steps we're going to see it in this today's session. Right, it's just still getting unzipped here. So a lot of files are coming here under this Oracle home. So just to put a few more lines here, the pre-check configuration for rack setup, rack instead of rack, I can say clusterware setup. Clusterware setup that will be like done using your run cluffy.sh, and then grid infrastructure for your cluster that can be run using grid setup.sh, and then your rack Oracle home installation can be done using run installer, and then your database creation can be done using dbca. Right, so these are the utilities. Right, so these are the utilities what we use so far. Let's see, ngp is done, so still going on. Okay, done. So ngp is done. Now I'll go ahead and change the permission. Let's go back here. If you see, like here, if I do ls FNLT, everything is owned by root because we ngp as a root user. So I'll go back one directory, and then I'll change all the subdirectories recursively, like chown -r oracle db home. So the moment I do -r, whatever the subdirectories files, everything will get changed to Oracle user permission, right? So now I change the permission. Now I'll go here on my other terminal. I'll go inside U01 app, Oracle product 19c db home, and then I have run installer here, and then I'm going to run this run installer. So that's a run installer step what we're doing here, and then after that I use the dbca to create my database. Right, so I do set up software only, and then this is for real application cluster rack database installation. So I'll go with the second option, and then these are the node 1 and 2. Okay, so standard edition, enterprise edition. I'll go with the enterprise edition. This is your user and app Oracle base, and this is your Oracle home. And then default, I'll select all the groups as a O install. If you are if you're design, it all depends upon your design. Like if you're going with the different groups, you can go ahead and DBA, OS DBA, make it DBA, OS OPER, make it OPER, backup DBA, make it backup DBA, DG DBA, make it DG DBA, like all of them, like you can make it whatever as per your design and needs. So for now, I will go with as for like this is my lab environment, I'll go with as a O install for everything. Right, doing a pre-checks now here. Probably I can add one more steps. After this one, we're gonna create disk groups plus data and plus Rico for my database installation. So using that can be done using ASMCA, ASM configuration assistant. Right, the pre-checks is still going on, because like if I connect to my grid here .inv plus ASM1 and then ASMCMD -P. If I do LSDG, I have only one disk group. That is my OCR disk group. I don't have data and record disk group, so I need to create that data and record disk group before creating the database. Right, so pre-checks are done here. I'm going to save this one. Like this is software only installed. This is base and this is Oracle Home. These are the groups you selected, and then root execution is manual. And then these are the two nodes you selected. I'll save the response file, and then I'll install it. Like this is your response file, and then you will see all the log files. You can see it here. I can copy this one and go back here, exit, exit, and then tail this log file here. This is the Oracle Home installation log file. Whatever you're seeing here. You're seeing all of these executable. So just go ahead and then I can make it small screen here so that you can watch side by side. Doing a linking RMAN utilities. Right, so setup is doing on node 1. It's done. Now it's copying it to the remote node. Now you can go back here on your remote node. This is node 2, CD U01 app Oracle product 19C DBOM LS. You can see it is all copying into your remote nodes. You can see it's getting increased here. All the files from node 1, it will copy it to node 2. That's the step you're doing, copying file to remote nodes. That is your Oracle Lab 2. That's your Oracle Lab 2. When the copying is done, so it's gonna, you can see transferring the file. You can see copying file, whatever this DBOM to remote nodes. That's your Oracle Lab 2. When the copying is done, it will do the post checks and all those things. You can see configuration of remote node, preparing and setup, and then your Oracle Home is ready. Okay, done. So copying is done, preparing done, setup is doing on the remote nodes. Right, so it'll ask for the execution of root script. Okay, this is your root script. I'm going to run it on both the nodes. I'll do it on node 1 first as the root user. Done. It will be very fast and quick. On node 2, done. And then go back and click OK here. This is your root execution. Click OK. Done. So Oracle Home installation is done. Now you can go ahead and do your database installation. Before that DBCA, I'm going to start my ASMCA. I can create data and record this group. All right, so the Oracle Home installation done. So and then the next step will be like you can run your ASMCA and then create your data and record with those two extra disks what you added. So what I'm going to do, like I'll just connect here. I'll go into my user one app 19C grid home, and then inside that bin, so I have something called ASMCA. This is the ASM configuration assistant. I'm going to run that one, ASMCA, and then which will launch the GUI screen where you can select those remaining disks, and then you can create a disk group out of those two disks. So right now, if you see, I have only one disk, that's OCR. And if I see, I have two instances, ASM1 and ASM2, which is running on both node 1 and node 2. So now I'll click on this disk group, create disk group, and then you can see your provision disk, ASM disk 2 and ASM disk 3. So I'm just select disk 1, and I'm going to create that of 20 GB. I'm going to create a data out of that with the external redundancy, and then click OK. And the remaining one, create your OCR disk. Creating a disk group data. Done. So you can see your data with the 20 GB is done. So again, same procedure, click on the create disk. You got one more disk here. Select that one with the external redundancy, make it as a record disk group. external redundancy, click OK. That's of 10 GB. That's as simple as that. To create of your disk groups using SMCA, it's a very simple task. Done. Now you can go back to your SMCA and verify that. Right. So I'll log into my Oracle. I'll set the environment to ASM.VaraNV plus ASM1 and then ASMCMD, LSDG. You got all the three disk groups, data, RICO, and OCR. All three are mounted now. Now you can go back to your GUI screen here, cancel this one, and then you can run your DBCA from your Oracle home. So DBCA from your Oracle home, you can go into use your own app, Oracle, product 19C DB bin, and then LL DBCA. This is your DBCA configuration assistant. So you can run DBCA, which will launch the GUI screen to create your RAG database. Since the Oracle home is installed with RAG, and then your database is going to be RAG database. So create database, and then whatever the name you can select for your database. I'll go with RAGDB is the name of the database, and then default I'll go with data and RICO. So just it took ORCL as a default name. I'll just select that one. I'll just make it the RAGDB. RAGDB stands for my RAG database. And then it's going to be automatic storage management. It's not a file system, it's going to be automatic storage management. And then default groups, it has taken data and then the RICO. Data is for my database file location, FRA is for my RICO. And then I'm going to select sys and system user password here and create as a container. I'm not going to create it as a container. If you want, you can create it as a container. So I'll just create it as a container, but if you want, you can select PDB name or else you can leave it blank. Go next. Everything it's going to assume by default, and then it go ahead and create a database. The pluggable database name cannot be empty. So I'll just go with the PDB1. Go next. If you select typical, so everything will be assumed by default. If you go with advanced configuration, you have to pass a lot of parameters inside that. I'll just go with the typical as of now. And then it's doing a pre-checks now here. Like if you need it, you can go with advanced and do a lot of changes in the parameters as per your design. So since this is my lab, I'll just go with the typical, whatever the recommended default configuration, I'll go with that. Right, so it's verifying all of them, all the scan, network, VIPs, public IPs, all of those, and then ASM integrity. Right, so these are your summary. You can go to it, database name, node names, and React database, and PDB, and then it's a file system storage is ASM, and then these are installation parameter file, and these are your database character sets, and these are your database OMF files, control files, and redo log groups, and then you can save your response file, and then finish installation. It's gonna take some time to complete your installation. So this is your log file. You can tail that one here. Exit tail -f. You can see this is your log file. Always, as I always used to say, whenever you do any installation or setup, always tail your log file so that you can see at least what's going on at the back end, rather than just watching it here. If you watch your alert log or the installation log, it will give you more information. Then go back here, and then this is your database alert log. You can tail that one. Go to other screen here. I'll do SSH node 1. And then I'm going to tail this one. Tail -f. This is your database alert log, and this is your DBCA installation log. And then this is your DBCA GUI screen. Yeah, 27% completed. Again, go back again, check the log, your DBCL log and your database alert log. This is your database alert log and this is your DBCL log. Both are progressing here. And then at the same time, you can monitor here in this run installer screen. All looks good here. 27% completed. Right, creating and starting instance. So you can take a one more session if needed, and then verify your data files and control files all are getting created inside your ASM disk group. So I'll just connect to my Oracle user on node 1 .orinv plus ASM1 plus ASM1 ASM CMD -p LSDG LSDG, and then go inside your data ls, go inside your rack db ls, and you can see all of them ls. So all the data files are getting created. System sysocs undo users all are getting created here. That's this is your database DBCL log file, and this is your database alert log. And then this is your ASM command line utility, and then this is your DBCL GUI installation screen. Right now, creating and starting database instance, which is in progress. You can see your alert log here. This is your DBCL log. %31 completed. If I go back here, one directory ls-l. Okay, it is not yet created my pluggable databases. Once it create a normal database, and then it will convert that as a PDB, sorry, container database, and then after container database is ready, sorry, once the this we selected as the container database CDB, just like install first brand new CDB, and then after that it'll install my pluggable database. That's the PDB1. Okay, still going on. It is converted thread 1. Okay, this all just group 1. All the logs are coming from group 1. Okay, it's running this data patch, which will take some time. This data patch execution. Okay, it seems data patch execution is done. Yeah, you can always tail this log file, which will give you more insights. Now it is creating your PDB using target instead of recovery catalog, and then now it's doing the recovery catalog, and now it's doing the PDB. Yeah, these are your PDB. That PDB1, whatever you created. One is a root database, one is a PDB $seed, and another one is your PDB. Now it's doing a PDB $seed. That's a default template it is creating, and then after that it will create your PDB or the PDB1, whatever you selected. If I go back here, ls-l, you can see your PDB $seed, and then one is your root CDB, one is your root CDB, and one is your PDB $seed, and then another one is going to be your PDB1. Right now it is doing a PDB $seed. And then I believe the PDB $seed is this one, 86B6. If I go back here, your 86B6 is a PDB $seed, and then this is your root container, and then there's a one more that is going to be your PDB1. After this, it's going to create PDB1. 31% is okay. Okay, I think it is doing a shutdown. It's bouncing my database now here. Stopping your background processes, RBAL, alter database dismount. Okay, instance shutdown completed. And now it's starting the instance again. Still at 31%. And then started your database here now. Yeah, I can always tail your log. That will give you more insights. Altering your database character sets. Okay, your database is back online. Completed alter pluggable database open restricted. Your PDB $seed is done. And now it's gonna create, it'll run some post script and then it'll create your another PDB. So if I go back here now, it is at 37% now. It is executing some of the scripts here. Oracle Home RDBMS admin, execute simx.sql. With the help of this Perl libraries, it is executing these scripts. Create your undo table space, undo TBS1 and undo TBS2 for both the cluster nodes. Right now it is a 41%. So far, so good. Right, so resizing operation completed. %41 completed so far. Some of the base tables all are getting created here. Again, if I do ls-l, so one is your PDB $seed, one is your root container database, and then there's a one more PDB. PDB1 it has to create as per our selection. It has to create one more PDB called PDB1. So again, it's doing a data patch. And then it has done XDB installation and all those things here. Right now, 53% completed. Okay, yeah, 53% is done. It's again executing the data patch since it has done some PDB $seed configuration. It has to run the data patch. After that, it'll create our PDB1, and then again it'll run the data patch for that as well. Okay, now it's doing some more post script, that's util RP. And then, yeah, after that, it might create your PDB1. Let's go back here and do ls-l. Yeah, PDB seed with the container ID 1 for your root CDB, container ID 2 for your PDB seed, and then container ID 3 for your PDB1, whatever you are going to create after this one. The default container ID 1 and 2 is assigned for your root CDB, and then your PDB seed, that's a default template. So this container ID 1 and 2 will be default assigned to them. And then whatever PDB you're going to create, those all will start with container ID 3, 4, 5 like that. So we have given one PDB, that's PDB1. So it should have container ID 3. Okay, still how much percentage? Okay, 57%. Okay, seems PDB seed is done and it bounced my database again. It's starting mounted the Descript3 Rico. It has bounced alter database mount and then alter database open. So it has started my database again. Probably it will start my PDB1 now. That's our custom PDB is what we given at the time of inflation. So yeah, you can see it done with the creation of your PDB1, PDB-DB. Okay, now I can go back here, ls-l. Okay, you can see you got one more, the GUID, that's a unique ID, which is for your PDB, PDB1, whatever you given. Then one is like your PDB root CDB, one is your PDB seed, and one is your PDB1, whatever your custom PDB you given the name while creating. You can see pluggable data PDB1, open, read, write. Right, so this is your final screen. Like if I go back to my installation, so that's done. So installation is completed. If I click close, then go back here, cancel this one, do ps-ef grep smon, and then you can see React DB1. And then if I go back here and my node 2, ps-ef grep smon, this is my React DB2, that's instance 2. So if I do cat etc vara tab, vara tab is not updated. You need to update that vara tab. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do vi/etc vara tab, and then this is my instance name. I'm going to add it here. Oh, instance name colon. And then I know u01, my Oracle home, user and app, Oracle, right? User and app Oracle product 19.0.0.0/db home _1. So this is my Oracle home. So I'll set the environment to my rack db1, and then if I do env grep ora, you can see environment is set. If I do SQL plus /l6 dba, and then show PDBs, you can see PDB $1, which is having container ID 3, PDB seed, which is having container ID 2, and then root $seed, which is root CDB. That's your main CDB, which has container ID 1. So now you can do select instance. Okay, you can do describe v $instance, and then you can select select your instance number, comma, instance name, comma, host name from $, instance. So the moment you do $, instance, you will see your instance 1 and instance 2. You got your instance 1 and instance 2, which is running under Oracle Lab 1 and Oracle Lab 2. So now you can do srvctl status database and -d, and then your React DB. So it should be up and running on both nodes. Like you can see instance 1, that is React DB1, instance 2, that's React DB2, running on node 1, that's Oracle Lab 1, running under node 2, that's your Oracle Lab 2. And then at the same time, we can verify at your cluster level, this database should be registered with your cluster. So if I do is env plus asm1 crstl stat resource -t -init -t, just do that one. I'll go directly to rackdb vara.rackdb.db, that has 1 and 2 entries. both state and target are both are online, and lab 1 and lab 2, which is in open mode and which is in open mode. So this concludes your rack database installation and configuration on your clusterware setup. That's a 2-node clusterware. Right, guys. So I'll stop it here. We'll reconnect in our next session. Thank you.